Hello and welcome to the channel. Today we are taking out the Mirage 2000C-S4, which was the reward for the 2023 winter event. If you have previously used top tier baguette launchers, you will know how this is going to go down, so this is directed at our amateur bakers out there. This plane sits at a hefty battle rating of 11.7, which makes it one of the highest rated event rewards Gaijin has released to date. Trust me, after making a comment like this, I did have to double check, and it is true. There aren't any higher rated event rewards that I can find, though I'm open to being reprimanded by the comments for my misinformation. This plane starts you off with 2 of the Magic 1 missile, which is a slightly better missile than the R-60M from Russia or the AIM-9L for you filthy capitalists. The main strat you want to employ with this plane is to abuse your ability to make snappy turns and just try not to black out your poor level 1 pilot. Yes, it is a Delta Wing. You don't want to go into sustained turn fights with the Delta Wing. I understand that. This is probably the best thing about this plane, so try to get his G tolerance up, and your grind will be a lot easier than it was for me. Your enemy will often include a couple of 12.3 jets, but for the most part, you will be fighting fighters like the J-37, MiG-23, and of course, you'll be fighting a couple of F-16s. You might also see some premium Phantoms, but those players are either unable to comprehend basic combat or sling missiles at you aimlessly, so it shouldn't be too much of a concern. Just don't head on them. With the nerf that Chaff was given recently, it's as important as ever that you stick near the ground to keep yourself from being permalocked by the F-14 staying halfway across the map. Especially with the 56 countermeasures you are given, you're going to want to abuse this as much as you can. The next talking point is a real doozy, which is that the radar is just about as rage-inducing as the MiG-23M was. It is definitely a more advanced and easier to use radar set, and if you use it right, the radar can be great at times, though it is very easy to notch, which can make it very frustrating to use as a whole. Not only that, but under 5 kilometers, you will suffer a lot of issues with gaining and maintaining lock on people who are neither beaming your radar nor riding low to the ground. As you can see here, I'm trying to lock onto an enemy directly in front of me, and almost as if he drank an invisibility potion, my radar turns a blind eye to the ballerina right in front of me. Of course, I will just gun him down, maybe throw an IR missile his way, but I thought this would be something important to note for those of you who are just now getting into planes with radars. This is an issue that you will suffer in this plane. It's not a very easy thing to get around. You just sort of have to deal with it. Well, excluding you guys in the 2017 Night Flyer, you don't really count here. But the main point is that the radar on this plane performs a little bit below the average that planes of this rank might, and is easily confused by notching, or riding a beam, which is simply turning your plane perpendicular to the radar targeting you. If you want it to perform its best, you will want to use it on targets that turned off their brain for the evening grind sesh, which should be pretty easy given the nature of Rank 7 Air. Now, as you level up this plane, you will start to unlock a lot more capable missiles, and these are probably the next best thing to the performance in this plane. When you unlock the Magic 2, you'll quickly realize why this plane is staying at 11.7, and that's because, for one, this missile pulls really well, tracks nicely, and 2, doesn't treat flares like eye candy, which is a real breath of fresh air for those of you just escaping the 10 to 11 PR rate. You can almost mindlessly sling them at enemies, and you'll just bust them up without a care, which is really satisfying. Now, for those of you thinking about selling this plane, I do warn you that it might one day be worth a good amount of money, but that for the next few weeks to months, it's not really going to be worth a lot, meaning you either have to wait a long time to reap your reward, just go ahead and redeem the thing to get your top tier French line. If you already have it grinded out, then just go ahead and hold it, since this plane is basically a glorified C5, so you might as well make some quick cash to get the plane that you might actually enjoy. Not that this is an unenjoyable plane to fly, it's just that there are a lot more entertaining battle ratings to fly that don't make you want to breathe asbestos. There isn't really a whole lot else to this vehicle, so that's going to be it for the Mirage 2000C-S4. If you did enjoy, please consider watching some of the other plane reviews on the channel. Perhaps leave a comment about your favorite plane to fly, and I'll see you guys in the next one.